Welcome to One Under Podcast. I'm your host, ADON Adon. And today I would like to do a monologue. Since I don't have any guests yet. Um, and I want to talk about something really special. Or one of those things that really carry, that one of those things that follow you wherever you go. It don't matter what command you goes to. It doesn't matter what unit you goes to. It doesn't matter what special unit you are, but it's really follow you wherever you go. And in today's episode, which is our first episode, I would like to talk about reputation. For those who knows, reputation really carry wherever you go, you know? And as I was saying, reputation is one of those things that for some people do matter, for other people doesn't really matter. But at the end of the day, reputation will follow you wherever you go. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what rank you holding or you held. It will follow you, definitely will follow you. Before we go into the main potato, I would like to define, according to the dictionary, what reputation means, or what's the meaning of reputation. For those who don't really understand, or for those who doesn't know what reputation means. And according to the dictionary, reputation is the estimation in which a person or thing is held, especially by the community or the public. Some people do have good reputation, some people do not have reputation at all. And you don't want to be that guy, you don't want to be that girl that everybody know for some stupidity within the job. Whether you are that person that always complain, whether you are that person that always cry about assignment, whether you are that person that really do not care about others and it's all about themselves. Reputation really carry wherever you go and it'll follow you. It will follow you. It don't matter where you are. It doesn't matter where you're going. It doesn't matter where you goes to. Why do we say that reputation is a really important thing within our job? It is important because sometimes reputation will close doors and at the same time would open doors for you. When we talk about reputation, we talk about as a whole because some people are really good at stuff at work, some people are not. And like I said before, you don't want to be that person known by the way you carry yourself, the way you handle stuff, the way you accept criticism, the way you accept when people trying to help you or when people trying to point out some of the stuff that you're lacking at. I'm one of those people that I'm always observing. And I could say that some of the officers or some of the law enforcement out there, they do that. They really carry themselves in a really high standard. Some people are very lenient the way they pretty much carry themselves, or I would say some officers are one way, some others are other. They will go the other way. And when we talk about people, or when we talk about um, law enforcement officers, agents, CO, PO, and all the other stuff in regard to members of the service. We could say that some people do have some reputation, some other people don't. And I prefer to be one of those that if you're gonna point out fingers at me, I wanna be one of those people that you could say, this guy or that guy is a really good officer. That guy do his diligence to handle himself and to handle some of the job the way that he's supposed to. Because in some way, sometimes people do look at you different based on your behavior, based on the way you handle stuff, based on how you work, based on how you move around, based on how you carry yourself. And reputation goes a long way, because when people or when you try to apply to a special unit or when you try to move on, when you try to go somewhere, your reputation is the key, is gonna be the resume, it's gonna be the key to open doors. If you're one of those guys that always cry, that are always complaining, disgruntled person, if you are one of those people that doesn't really care about others, that doesn't really care about the job per se, you're gonna be marked, and that mark gonna follow you wherever you go. The mark gonna follow you, and that's the mark that gonna open and close door for yourself. Why? Because your reputation. Why? Because the estimation that other people have or has about you. And if they don't have any good reputation, if they don't have any estimation, if they don't really feel any type of way about you, about how you carry yourself, or about about how you work, about your work ethic and stuff like that, then you're gonna be that guy. You're gonna be that person. You're gonna be that girl that people gonna put fingers on, point fingers at. You're gonna be that person, specifically because of the way you carry yourself, because of the way you handle yourself, because of the way you handle jobs, because of the way you accept whatever assignment they give you. When we talk about reputation, we talk about pretty much the way you are as a law enforcement. One of the things that I have learned as a law enforcement is that you have to be humble. You have to be humble because when you sign up for the job, when you apply for the job, you were really anxious. You were eager to get the job. You were eager to wear the uniform. You were eager to be that person, to be out there, serving the community, serving the city, serving the local community, serving your neighborhood, and all that stuff. And you pretty much want to feel like a hero, like you that guy, like you the man, that you that person that when you got that uniform on for the first time, you were like really proud of yourself. You were looking at yourself in the mirror. I bet you were doing like free, stop, don't move, and all that stuff in front of the mirror with your weapon, with your shield, flashing your shield to yourself, flashing your shield to the mirror, and all that stuff. But now that you see the reality of, the job, the reality of the things that you have to do, the reality of the thing that you have to pretty much encounter. Now, for some reason, you're building that behavior that you don't really care about yourself, you don't really care about others, you don't really care about the agency that you're working for, you don't really care about a lot of stuff that are going on. But I will tell you that your reputation will follow you wherever you go, whether you are law enforcement, whether you are a secular, regular worker, wherever you go, that reputation gonna follow you. Because even though we do have a lot of people in law enforcement, and even though we have a big number, thousands of us out there as a law enforcement, I'm pretty sure that at least half a thousand gonna know you, and at least half a thousand is gonna talk about you, your reputation, how you carry yourself, how you walk around, how you handle jobs, and all the stuff. If you're a scammer, you're gonna be pointed out as a scammer. If you're a worker, you're gonna be pointed out as a worker. If you're a good cop or a good officer, a good agent, you're gonna be pointed out as all. But if you are the opposite, if you not that person, if you're not that guy, if you're not that girl, then that also gonna follow you. And people gonna point fingers at you as well. So what would I say? There's a say, people say, know your job and do your job. When you know your job and when you do your job, it's pretty hard for others to say stuff about you. It's pretty hard for others to point fingers at yourself, at you. It's pretty hard for people to say bad stuff about you because there's no reason for them to say stuff about you. There's no reason for them to point fingers at you. Why? Because of your reputation. Why? Because you're not that person that they think you are. You are totally the opposite of whatever they want to think about you. And I would say also that it don't matter if you have a good reputation or bad reputation within the job. People always gonna talk about you. One way or another. People always will have something to say about you, about yourself. Always. People always will have something to say about you. As a cop, as a police officer, as a federal agent, as a correction officer, as a EMS, EMT, as a firefighter, always your coworker will always have something to say about you because that's the human nature, to talk about each other. And for some reason, within our job as a members of the service, for some reason, as a law enforcement, and that you have to you get to work with a lot of type of people to a lot of different character, people always going to have something to say about you. But one of the things that I would like to say is that if you have a good reputation as a worker, whether you're a law enforcement or not, it's pretty hard for people to say stuff about you. It's pretty hard for people to say stuff about you because you have another or a different type of reputation. Whether you're the quiet guy, whether you're the talkative guy, whether you're the happy guy, the funny guy, whether you're the lazy guy, whether you are the disgruntled person. But believe me, whatever it is, people always gonna have something to say. And I will say that if you have a good reputation within the job, it's gonna be difficult for them to say anything about you. They will have to swallow their tongue. They will have to swallow their words. They will have to swallow their expression or whatever they want to say about you. But reputation, I would also say, will carry and will follow wherever you go as a law enforcement. Sometimes it's really hard to hide, from others or to hide stuff about ourselves when we work among other people, especially in law enforcement. Because even though we are a lot of people, we are a lot of different character, it's pretty hard to hide. Because at the end of the day, somebody, some of those, someone, some some people will know you. And some people will gonna be able to say who you are, and how you handle yourself. That's why I would always say that there's always time for everything. There's always time to scam. There's always time to work. When it's time to work, you gotta work. When it's time to cry, it's time to cry. When it's time to complain, it's time to complain. When it's time to enjoy, it's time to enjoy. When it's time to, trying to escape from some situation, then you're gonna have to escape, regardless of whatever it is. But the main things, if is to have a good reputation. That's the main goal, to have a good reputation. Why? Because your reputation will follow you wherever you go. Whether you're that guy flirting around with everybody, whether you're that guy trying to play jokes and scam, whether you are that person that do not like to deal with some people within the community, whether you're that guy really happy, really funny, whether you are that guy or that person that like to play around with kids, and so on and so forth. So reputation goes a long way. So try to be that person within the job to have good reputation. Try to be that person that even though you do not like to do stuff, you do not like to take report, you are the number one person there when other officers or other agents call when they need you. Be that person, that number one person, and that reputation will follow you. Well, he do not like to do report. He do not like to take report. He do not like to deal with people, but I guarantee you that when I call for help, he's the number one person there. He's the first one there. He's the first person there showing up, showing people, pushing people around, telling people to, you know, get back, telling people to move around, telling people, you could record, but step back. And that's the type of reputation that you want to have. You don't want to have the whole reputation of that guy do not do report. He doesn't like to take report, but he don't even show up when I call for assistance. As a law enforcement, we are a huge, huge family in blue across the nation, everywhere in the United States, out of the United States. But wherever you go, wherever we are, reputation will follow. Be that person, always there when they need you. Be that person that take their assignment with pleasure. Even though, you take the assignment and then you go down to the locker room or wherever you want to go, complain to yourself, cry to yourself, be disgruntled, and say whatever you want to say. But at the time of the assignment, be happy, be grateful. Because some other people within the job, they do have it harder than others. Some people have it easier than others, but at the same time, we all go through the same stages. We all go through the same situation. Some people have it easier, some people have it better, but at the end of the day, we do go to the same stuff. Why? Because we are all law enforcement. And as a law enforcement, there's a lot of stuff that happen the same way, same scene, different situations, same scene, different characters, same character, different situations. Sometimes same scenes, same characters. But we do have the same pretty much stages. When we came out from the academy, when we go out to the street, when we become rookie seniors after 5, 6, 7, 8 years. But at the same time, I would say that we all go to the same stages. Why? Because this career is always the same. It's the same thing. Whether you work in the city, whether you work in the county, whether you work in the urban, it do not matter. We all go through the same thing. Whether you are a state trooper, police officer, correction officer, EMS, EMT, federal agent, it do not matter. We pretty much go through the same stages. And in saying that, when we start our career, that's when we build up our reputation. And that reputation will always follow us. That reputation will always follow wherever you go. Because it's just like that. Reputation will always follow. So try not to be that person. Try not to be that guy, always lacking. Try not to be that guy, always looking dirty. The uniform's supposed to be blue or gray, but it looked a different color because you do not carry yourself the way you're supposed to. And unfortunately, that's going to be your reputation, or part of your reputation. That you're always dirty, you're always sloppy, you do not like to take reports, you do not like to work, you do not like to do the things that you're supposed to do, you do not get along well with others, and try not to be that person. Just try not to be that person. Trying to build up a reputation that when people see you, they know who you are. That when people see you, they know the type of caliber person you are, the caliber person you really are, and the type of officer or law enforcement you are, because that's gonna be your reputation. And whether you like it or not, that's gonna follow you wherever you go. So, this is our first episode, one on the podcast. Tune in and we'll keep you posted for more. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being there with us. I hope, you learned something from this, and just carry. Whatever you learn from this, just, carry and pass it along to others. So we will have a better career and we start building up a better reputation. Thank you.